This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets MIDI apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast today. Of things that I talk about podcast. Everybody is happy, maybe there are some things that you recognize, today's episode is going to be about and maybe there are some things that you know, things like awesome to it, especially now what we have here, and focus on that one voice. Okay, let's get into it. In America, there was a focus on the negative things. So if all over the news, into social media, we call it doom scrolling. Right? When you spend a lot of time on social media and it gives you anxiety and makes you think about negative things that you are seeing on the news and social media. It means so let's not a lot of drama negative around it, but also bring some light saying that there was positive with the left, but that's it, everyone. Right. So like I said at the beginning, there are some things that you may have already known. Maybe something there was the huge drama. And maybe there are some things that banning you know of TikTok that I didn't in mention. The end, the ban so was only 12 hours there was something and it was really nothing. But the fact is in 2025, leading please leave us a comment so that we can ban. It was about anything else in the news that happened that was the significant. Next thing also dealing with America was that Happy New Year Trump was into 2026. It's a very nice word. English, inaugurated as the president for the second time. Just have a great year from everyone in the DeWay family. Passed away at the age of 88. Bye. So Pope Leo came into power, so he was chosen, and he has background being in America and in Latin America. But Pope Francis, who was very beloved, passed away at the age of 88. Some people that passed away, some other people, we have Ozzy Osbourne, Robert Redford, Jane Goodall, Diane Keaton. They all are big household names. When we say household names, it means names that everybody recognizes. Obviously, they are of the older generation, but still very popular names all round. In terms of pop culture, Taylor Swift ended her Eras tour, but also got engaged to her boyfriend Travis Kelce. Talking more about not so much pop culture, but sort of for the younger people, there were huge protests in Nepal, right? Now, I don't know if many people know this, but these protests were led by Gen Z, and their flag of protest, how they wanted to show that they were protesting, they used a piece of pop culture anime. Do you know the anime One Piece? So One Piece is about pirates, right? And how they like fight against the big evil. And the Gen Z protesters used the One Piece flag, La Bandera, as a sign of resistance against the government, which I thought was very interesting. Continuing, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Now, this is the second time you can hear me use the passive voice. So I said Donald Trump was inaugurated. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So you can see me putting in the passive voice there, which is very interesting. And continuing with a little bit of American news, America and French, there were conspiracy theories about Brigitte Macron. Now, Brigitte Macron is the wife of the French president, and there were conspiracy theories that she is actually a man. Again, I don't know if these things are true. This was just what was in the news, things that were in the news and happening in 2025. Let's continue. Continuing with France again. The very famous museum, the Louvre, was robbed. Again, passive voice, was robbed. I don't know who robbed the museum, which is why we use the passive voice. And then we can go into more international news with Egypt and Cairo. There is a huge, enormous, new, beautiful museum in Cairo, all about the Egyptian history and mythology. It's called the Grand Egyptian Museum, and people are having great reviews about it, saying that it's beautiful and worth seeing. So if you do have any plans in 2026 to go traveling, why not go to Cairo and check out the Grand Egyptian Museum? In Spain, we had the Apagón, the blackout, which happened in, I think, about April. Also, it wasn't that long. It was maybe less than 12 hours. But because we had no forewarning, meaning before, antes. So forewarning meaning previous warning. It took everybody by surprise and nobody knew what was happening. So it was a little bit scary, but we've come out the other side and so far we've had no more problems. Another interesting thing about Europe is that Bulgaria and Romania joined the Schengen area. So we have 2 new countries that are now part of the Schengen area, which is awesome if you have an EU passport. South Africa had, the G20. The G20 is basically where a bunch of countries come together and they talk about the things that they can do, for the world to make the world a better place, like in summary. And it was a positive thing. There were some really positive and promising outcomes of what countries were willing to try and fix and try to work towards. Another positive thing is that China's carbon emissions dropped as they moved towards renewable energy. Now, China and India are the biggest instigators of, CO2, carbon dioxide, and all the negative carbon emissions that we have in the world. So the fact that China's carbon emission dropped is a very positive sign. I didn't want to tell you only negative things. I definitely wanted to bring in some positive things. Another positive thing, though, is that a lot of species that were on the endangered list have come off the endangered list, meaning they are no longer in danger of being extinct, okay? And the final really positive thing is that the ozone hole, so a couple of 20, 30 years ago, we had this big hole in the ozone layer that, came from using CFCs, which was like a chemical that we used in like sprays and fridges and a whole bunch of things. And the world came together and decided to stop using these CFCs and try to close this ozone hole. Now it is continuing to shrink, which is a positive thing. If we can focus on closing the ozone hole in the ozone layer, that means that why can't we focus on other things like renewable energy? So there is some hope in the world, guys. It's not only doom and gloom, which is another nice expression. When we talk about doom and gloom, it just means all the negative feelings. Right. There's a couple more things that I want to mention. There was a huge, how many times have I said huge in today's podcast? I think this is the 3rd time. Let's find another adjective instead of huge. There was a intense earthquake that hit the Tibet area, and with that earthquake there was a lot of damage and a lot of repercussions. There's sort of like ripples that it was felt in many places around the world.